I am here today to share something about PTSD. As you know, we are just adding something more about the video that I sent last time about the dealing with the past. Today I want just to tell you about PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Thank you. The PTSD, it is a word that must need to get interest because it is affecting people. It is affecting people, and most of them are not aware that their behavior are coming from the PTSD, which lack care. So every person needs care because what? Because if you don't, as I told you, do care for the past, to deal with the past. One of the 80 things that I told you is PTSD. So today I want just to tell you the sign which is on the person who works with trauma, especially post-traumatic stress disorder. Thank you. So PTSD, so what PTSD looks like. Every person who is following me have to understand this, because if you don't be aware of those signs, which is not bringing you at the hospital, because all the person who are sick, they are not going to the hospital. You can be a sick person without having an interest of going at the hospital or to the neuropsychiatric center, because that seems to be an everyday life, but with bad behavior. This is what we can tell you about PTSD. So I want to tell you about 10 signs which can be shown to the person working with trauma or PTSD, as I told you. The first sign is what? Is a person who avoid thinking of the trauma. To avoid thinking of the trauma is what? The person has been in contact with the trauma in the past, so he avoid not to want to think, not to want to see, not to want to talk about the trauma. To lose one's mother, to lose a member of the family, to lose things which are expensive. When the person works with PTSD, he avoided to go back to remember this. That is the first sign of a person working with trauma. The second sign is what? Is what we call flashback. Flashback, for many persons who are not aware of this, flashback when you have got an accident, for instance. It is a kind of a situation which is on a person, or you can think that the accident that you have done is coming again. Even if you are walking in the road, you see that the bad situation that happened to you in the past is coming again, is going to come back again. That is what you can call flashback in this story. The third sign is which appear on this person is just those person who cannot concentrate. You can be in an office without being aware of this. The person is in the office and he go in another office. He leave one quarter to another quarter, and he can during the day not receive a result. Just is not able to be concentrated to stay in one place and achieve. Those kind of person are non-achievers. The word achievement is very difficult for those persons working with trauma. He cannot be concentrated. He do have a work, and this is why we say that it cannot concentrate. The four idea that I can tell you is what we call negative thinking. The person working with trauma are negative thinker. It means he see problem in every situation. He see problem. Even if you give him money, he see that there is something wrong. He always think about what he lack. I don't have money. Even if I get this child at the hospital, I will not have a clothes for this child. Even if he think negatively every day, because when you have a poor mindset, there's what we call a poor mindset. The poverty can end, but the poor mindset can follow you even if you are rich, you have money on the bank. Don't the person working with the trauma without care are negative thinker. Or you can say that they have a tank when there is negative ideas every day, night, during the day, in the conference, in the meeting, they think negatively. 5, sleeping difficulty. When he go to sleep during night, cannot be. There are 4 types of stage during the night when we are sleeping. But the person with this problem of PTSD there is a stop. Can be sleeping, they stopped at midnight, stop, or can it is kind of the perturbation of sleeping which is on this person. Some of them can lack totally the sleeping. We know a situation when people lose totally the sleeping, and is obliged to receive medication before going to bed. 6, feeling guilt or shame. Those persons working with trauma, they have a feeling of shame. Shame is those kind of a situation or person, he feel in himself that the mistake that he committed in the past are still on his head. He is like a person who can feel that I don't know if you understand what is shame situation. The person who has done situations in the past but who are not seems to follow him even in the present. There is something also which called negative mood. In French we call l'humeur. Negative mood. There is positive mood and the negative mood. For those persons who working with trauma, they have negative mood at the service, can get negative mood, and can be a source of conflict in the service because of negative mood coming from the home. You can lack money for helping the family, and then when they come at the service, this negative mood affect other person. You have to know that mood is transmissible. It's like a transmissible disease. The following 8 is always on the guard. Please know that if you see a person who is always on the guard, he's ready to receive bad situation. You think that the trauma he experienced in the past is coming again on his head. So you will find the person working with trauma will always on the guard, but he's not aware that is a disease. It is a sign, a risk. This is the sign which puts those person to be always on the guard, and they can see that is one of the signs that I'm telling you. The 9, loss of interest. Every human being is have a motivation of working to gain money and to help to satisfy essential needs like food, like clothes, like helping other person. Those persons working with trauma lose interest of working. You can find them in a student, you can find them on workers, you can find them on military and police. you can lose interest of working. That is the sign of PTSD. Lastly, bad dream. Person with trauma have bad dream. Can, during sleeping, see like liberation, but bad dream. Can see animals coming to beat him. Is one of the signs of trauma. So in summary, there is avoid thinking of the trauma. That is first. Second is flashback. Third is cannot concentrate. 4, negative thinking. 5, sleeping difficulty. 7, feeling guilt or shame. 9, negative mood. 8, always on the guard. The loss of interest in the bad dreams. And God bless you.